Welcome, strays and wanderers, to another thrilling episode of A War of Fang and Fur. I'm your Dungeon Master, Cameron Holt. I'm joined by the accidentally treasonous Arcana crew. Wish yourselves luck, Arcana crew.
Not me. I'm not treasonous yet.
That's true.
That's true. My bad.
It doesn't look great, y'all.
Bad.
It's just a big whoopsie doodle.
Oops.
All right.
I may have committed some light treason, Michael.
The biggest treason. Heavy treason.
Regicide, no big deal. You know.
We begin, or continue, I should say, from the tournament grounds. The battered mud that's been patted flat from the various footfalls of the battle that took place here just sits still as the crowd continues to cheer around the gates of the Grand Arena. A retinue of about 4 royal guards approach Lance, and they escort you out without you being overtaken by the crowd. People are like reaching out and like trying to like touch the hero and touch the winner to maybe get a little bit of that luck on themselves. And you are led through a small gate into an area, a section beneath the nobility stands. Lady Azalea, would you be waiting there, or where would you find yourself?
Is it very crowded?
No, there's hardly anyone down here. It's kind of the main reason that the champion was led to this area. There's like a few guards, but it's not like busy.
That's where I'm hanging out.
Okay. Did you bring, actually I'm gonna say that Lord Asher, after your conversation and you asking him to get rid of that flask, he has gone off to take care of some business.
Yes, he has.
So Lance, you are led in by the guards who close the gate behind you. A few of them actually exit first, close the gate behind you. And you find Lady Azalea there waiting for you.
Lady Azalea.
Lance! Everything is fine, but I need your help.
Well,
Congratulations.
I just went through a thing. A little tired. What can I do for you?
It's long-term help, not immediate.
I see. Oh, by the way, sorry for beating Skjoll.
You know, that might be the best thing for us right at this exact moment.
I can't imagine why that would be true, but I am all ears, so to speak.
Wonderful. Congratulations. So many congratulations. Is there anybody in here currently?
There are a few guards. There are also ample places for you to kind of like tuck away and have a quiet conversation.
Follow me. Follow. And I will find one of those places to have a quiet conversation.
Yeah. As you're being led away, one of the guards approaches momentarily, pardon me, for the hero, and he hands you a large, like very flat, wide-bottomed jug that has a very like tall neck and seems to contain some sort of potion.
Oh. For right now to...
Yes, for your healing.
Oh.
And,
yeah, I want that.
as a congratulations.
check.
And let me pull up.
It has like a little spout with a little ball in it.
Yeah. Like a hamster cage.
Yeah, it's got a little ball that you have to push. Excellent. You can roll 8d4 plus 8.
Dang. Very bad. Do you need some D4?
I'd love some.
Oh, dang.
5, 6, 25.
Nice.
Nice.
You down the potion and feel your wounds lessen. A lot of your bruises clear up under the fur.
Back up to maximum, actually.
Nice.
I'll check my bandages.
Yeah, still in place.
Okay.
The guard takes the bottle from you and gives a bow and steps away.
Thank you.
And the two of you find yourself in private for the moment.
Never had a healing potion that much kick before.
Oh, they're quite good when money is behind them, truly.
Yeah. Clearly.
All right, here's the thing. I believe you to be a loyal person with goals.
I'm definitely loyal to, well, those who've earned my loyalty.
Right. What are maybe I have some ideas on how I could earn that undying loyalty. Really, truly, the best loyalty. You have. I'm.
You sound a little bit flustered.
You would
right
notice
now.
that for maybe the first time in the entire time you've been traveling, Azalea's like fur is ruffled.
She's got that mohawk.
Yeah,
the
like
animals
hackles
get.
up.
What has happened to put you in such a state?
Can I trust you?
Well, I do technically still work for you until the end of the tournament festivities, so you can anything that you tell me now will be in confidence.
Can I believe that?
Make an insight check. You can make persuasion or deception, Lance.
22.
22.
I rolled a 19.
Yes, you can trust this rabbit with your life.
I think maybe I had a hand in accidentally making Skjoll kill the king, but that wasn't the intention.
Wait.
That's not what I meant to do.
Wait. The king?
It could have happened to anyone, really.
The
The Gilded Fang was the king. The king that
I
was
knew
up
it.
there, the king that you saw up in the thing, that was not him. He was fighting for some reason, because that's what men are like.
Can I, like, from what I saw in the tournament, can I piece together, like, what I think may have happened based on what she just said?
Yeah, make a. I'll say history or insight, your choice.
Insight's my much better option. 13.
I'd say 13 is high enough. After being told the situation, you flash back to that moment of Skjoll pushing the Gilded Fang and then turning and attacking Cerberian. Moments later, the Gilded Fang just fell unconscious, seemingly unconscious.
Did Skjoll have a weapon he wasn't supposed to have, perhaps?
Yes, but it was for the hippo. You have to believe me, it was for the hippo. And
Can I believe her that it was for the hippo?
Make an insight check. I'm going to say make your insight check with advantage.
Ooh.
And Lady Azalea, I think we're all aware that you're making a persuasion check right now.
20.
13.
13.
What's happening?
Yes, that you get the sense that Lady Azalea is being honest. Maybe for the first time ever.
Listen, I have a poison that I make that isn't lethal under most circumstances, and that wasn't mine. I don't know to whom it belonged. I have my suspicions, but I'm not certain.
So,
And he wasn't supposed to use it on the king, he was supposed to use it on a hippo, and also we didn't know that the king was there. However, we are going to have problems starting now.
so there's 2 levels of fucked uppery going on here.
There are
is what you're telling me.
multiple. It's a problem. We're having a problem.
This is a problem.
We're having one. And really, not even really, you have no problem really if you choose not to have a problem, but I will say that if we can mitigate the problem together, if we can work together with House Luperel to maybe not have a problem, I'm sure that they and I also would be more than happy to give you whatever you want for the rest of your life. Thank you.
I have some larger concerns right now.
You have okay.
One of them being that this might descend into war.
What are both of your passive perceptions?
My passive perception is 19.
Nice.
Mine is 16.
Excellent.
I have the observant feat.
Nice.
I have large ears.
Lance, as you're putting out your points, which sorry to interrupt, Lady Azalea, you hear what sounds like a skittering sound.
In here?
Just outside. Like you hear the sound and you kind of like perk up. Both of your ears kind of twitch. One of them like kind of turns around behind you and you instantly turn to look, and you see just the tail end between the slats of a silhouette rushing away.
You son of a bitch.
Can I jump after it real quick to try to like catch up?
Worth noting, this is like on the other side of the wooden slats. You guys are currently within. You would have to like go to a door and exit the space. Actually, Lance, you haven't noticed this. You noticed Lady Azalea turn and look at something.
Shit. Fuck. Shit.
was something?
There's something.
I hop over behind the slats wherever she was looking to see what I can see.
Yeah, you hop over to the wall and make a perception check as you kind of peer through the cracks between wood planks.
21.
You see mostly brush and bushes, a few trees as well. Kind of looking out to, for us, what was the kind of this area of the battle map last time. Mm-hmm. And peering out, you see there's a basset hound who is relieving himself on one of the trees, kind of like looking over his shoulder to make sure nobody sees him. Other than that, and he's like a good probably 20 feet away from the wall. You don't see anything else.
Judging by the amount of urine that has already been expelled, does it seem like he's been there for a moment and he wasn't maybe the cause of the noise?
Probably not. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's you see actually one of the guards of the event. He had to like remove some armor to position himself as such.
Gotcha.
So yeah, he has been over there for a second.
Gotcha. I don't see anything else.
No, it's hard to see because like again, you're just kind of like peering through a slat, and then you kind of like move to another one. You don't see any physical beings in the area.
Just see a dog out there peeing, but he's been doing that for a minute.
All right, I'm going to choose to deal with that later, but it is it's going to cause a more immediate problem than what we were working with.
Maybe. Yeah.
So, can ladies knight, or can only queen knight? I can knight?
Any nobility could knight someone.
All right, here's the thing. I start smoothing my fur out. I can give you a certain amount of immediate power now, and should you choose to stand by us, I will ensure that House Luperel provides an amount of power to your house so that House Caniculus will never be the one to act as cannon fodder again.
What would you say like the relationship between Caniculus and Luperel is overall politically?
Politically, not the best. House Caniculus was instated after the Great War due to their heavy involvement in the final battle of the war, and were instrumental in defeating the Luperels to end the Great War. And as such, they were awarded by House Theros with noble titles. So,
Who do
contentious.
if they're this may be a loaded question that it wouldn't be appropriate to give me an answer to, but who do I think would jump in and start fighting each other if it came out that the king was murdered? Like, do I think that everyone would gang up on who seemed to be responsible for it, or do I think that there would be certain factions that would just start fighting, or do I think the Duneborough people would take advantage and swoop in on the kingdom? Or
I'm gonna make a weird call in that I'm going to invent a skill.
Oh.
okay.
We're going to have a politics skill.
Ooh.
This will have several uses, and it's going to be an intelligence-based stat.
Damn it.
That said,
Oh, my dumb brother.
I would say at least Lady Azalea, Prince Riss, and Hugin would all be proficient in this stat
Ooh, okay.
because of your titles as nobility. So, Lance, go ahead and make me a politics check to see kind of the state of the world and to make an educated guess on who would try to capitalize on this moment.
All right.
15.
This could go any number of ways. A, if the word gets out that the High King is dead. That issue would cause problems along the borders, almost certainly. Willownet has been sending out missionaries and pushing to spread its religious ideologies to all the surrounding lands. They would definitely probably try to capitalize on that situation. There have been border skirmishes with Duneborough since forever. You know
I
that.
know all about that.
Yeah, you know that better than anyone. The Lamella Riverlands, they typically tend to try and keep to themselves, but Condora participating in this event points at some unrest amongst the clans there. If it came out that House Luperel was responsible for the death of the High King, that would potentially cause another great war, because most likely rulership would fall back to the former High Queen, because she is the only remaining member of House Theros, who is blood related to House Theros, I should say. But there have also been a lot of rumors about the former High Queen and her ailing health, or failing health, I should say. The fact that she wasn't present at the tournament kind of lends credence to the fact, like, she showed up at the grand feast and sat at the table and ate, but that was about it. She didn't show up at the tournament or anything. So, if that happened, and House Luperel felt emboldened, they could attempt to fill that vacuum themselves. If public opinion is that House Luperel planned this all along, and were trying to make that grow, probably the former alliances would try and crush them. It could honestly be even worse than the Great Hunt, in that during the Great Hunt, House Luperel had been building their number for years, and the Four Kingdoms were independent for about 3 years before leading up to the Great Hunt, after the High King's death. Murder, I should say. In that, they were also able to gather allies. So it was House Luperel and House Vulpes against House Cain and Arctos, until House Arctos was also implemented. In this particular instance, it could be a situation where if the remaining houses, because House Arctos was wronged by Luperel in the past, House Caniculus has been formed, House Cain already stood against, although they did not want to get involved in the war. The words of House Cain, Lance would know, all of you would know, are caution breeds longitude. They do not involve themselves in many battles even. They are strong and steadfast, but they are very cautious. But there is a potential here that if the greater view is House Luperel tried to murder the king in an attempt to seize the throne, all of the other houses may come together to remove House Luperel.
So, here's my concern. It's going to be, people are going to put together what happened when they find out that the king was stabbed and poisoned.
Maybe.
Everyone was watching, right?
But how reliable are people's eyes? In fact, it's proven that eyewitness testimony is actually the worst kind of testimony, because people don't always remember accurately. They remember what they are told to remember.
That's true, but the wisdom of the crowd is also something you have to keep in mind.
The crowds are wily.
My point is, a lot of people are going to assume that Prince Skjoll tried to kill the king, even though it could be argued that we didn't know that he was the king. It was made very clear that the king was up in the stands. They made a big to-do about him being some mysterious fighter.
It's possible that they won't even tell anyone.
That's
It would
also
be bad for them.
That's also possible.
It would be bad for all of us.
But I guess we could assume that whoever is responsible for changing your poison to a lethal one would be the one making a fake king be up in front of everyone. But if they're controlling a fake king, then they can say or do whatever they want. They would basically be in power, which wouldn't be great, because that would be a traitor on the throne, a fake and a traitor. And they could put whoever they want on the throne instead of themselves.
Is that fucking armadillos, which my poisons? Wasn't the armadillo?
Make a history check with disadvantage.
You would. Okay, 18.
It's possible. He definitely had the opportunity during the opening feast when he came and spoke to you. Could have potentially happened then. But it's possible. It could have been switched out by the armadillo. Could have been switched out by any number of your handmaidens.
It's mine.
Could have been switched out by Lord Asher.
It was so.
Oh.
He seemed genuinely confused.
He did.
He seemed.
My poison is generally sweet smelling, like cherries or almonds.
Mm-hmm.
This one was bitter
Gotcha.
and potent, and I didn't recognize.
What would the punishment be if Skjoll had just stabbed some random other combatant that wasn't a king during the tournament? Would it still be like a death sentence for them? Would it
Probably,
be...
given his status, it would have been... Oh, darn. You shouldn't have done that, sir. If you had done it, probably death.
Right.
But
I mean,
if Prince...
I get it.
If Prince Skjoll had done it to the hippo, who he was supposed to stab, it was a backup plan.
You
Right.
can both make intelligence checks.
20.
Nice.
Supposed to murder the hippo.
20.
Yeah, both of you realize if this was just some unnamed commoner, and Prince Skjoll had cheated and used a sharpened weapon and accidentally killed someone in the grand melee. People accidentally die in the melees all the time. And also, the fact that this melee takes place within Timberhaven, where Prince Skjoll is the heir to the throne, it'd probably be more of like a fine and a slap on the wrist.
So you have some different options.
Do I? Thank God.
I mean, it's going to be obvious that he was stabbed. Like, there's a stab
Yes,
wound.
we cannot deny...
And it's going to be pretty clear who stabbed him from what
He
happened.
fought with a lot of different people.
So
Perhaps his wounds overcame him at the very end.
you have the option of saying, like, coming out and saying what happened,
No.
and not pursuing not pursuing to claim the throne to make it clear that that wasn't your intention.
Oh, I think it might be too late for that.
Okay. Well, if House Luperl goes after the throne,
Sure.
the other houses are going to descend on you.
Right.
And any promises you're making about protecting House Caniculus, you probably won't be able to back up because they're probably going to be fighting you.
Unless, and you're not considering all of the political implications here.
Well, I'm not
Unless-
a politician. I'm just thinking out loud.
Unless at the start of this, we get ahead of it with a very loyal knight of House Caniculus, knighted by House Luperith. As a show of peace. Which is not the only reason that I'm offering it, by the way. You've been very loyal to me, and also,
Right.
if you were to betray me, I would be actually royally fucked. Is part of the problem.
Right. I understand all of that.
You seem great.
You put me in a very difficult position.
I have a lot of money.
I didn't expect to be put in such a pickle right after winning the tournament.
This is the best day of my fuck.
Yeah. It's been a real roller coaster, is what I'm saying so far.
Like, that's your persuasion. I have a lot of money.
I thought it would help.
I do like money, but I
We all
also
like money.
I also have certain principles, and I do have some loyalty to the crown.
Right, and I'm telling you that at the start, right, with my feminine wiles, we would be allying with House Caniculus, and we would prevent. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that House Caniculus was given a status as a house was to ask forgiveness for using them as cannon fodder for their entire time during the war. I'm telling you that we won't be doing that.
That and the cool stuff that we made.
Right.
Here's my thought process. We need to find out who put that poison on the knife,
We
because
do.
if I didn't believe you about everything that you told me,
Right. Which
I-
was true.
I believe you.
Thank you.
I want you to understand that if I didn't believe you,
Right.
I'd be dragging you to the guards.
I
right
appreciate that
now.
very
Okay.
much.
All right. Okay.
Also,
Just so that we're clear about that.
We should probably find the princes and Hugin, because, for one, I don't think that the young prince and Hugin find me to be a credible, good person. Which is fair. They're making the right choice.
Right.
But I do wish the best for them and their family. I'd like to marry into it. So this is bad
Right.
for all of us, really.
What
But I think it could be very bad for me.
one thing I want you to tell me
Sure.
while we're having a moment of candor together, what were you talking with Bristle about at the feast?
Ooh, he seems to know. he's being very vague, I'll be honest with you. He's being quite vague, so I think I know what he knows. But I could be wrong.
Well, what do you think that he knows?
I think that he knows that I don't have parents.
At all?
Somebody made me,
Right.
in theory. But they are not Lord Asher and Lady Basil.
And you have no idea who they are.
Oh, my real ones.
Right.
No, I don't even have a clue. It seems unimportant, really. Right now I'm very rich.
That's true.
And I have a lot of power.
That's true. And I don't hold your adopted status against you as
Right.
you know.
Unfortunately, and hypocritically, everybody else does, is kind of the problem.
Right. Right.
You see what I mean?
I do.
So
yeah.
my goal is complex, but really I think it's kind of bullshit. It's bullshit that the armadillo is blackmailing me.
He definitely was trying to get information about you. Why would he be so concerned with just that, though? Like,
I don't know, I think he's up to something.
he was near you at the feast, which would have given him the opportunity to switch out that poison.
Right, but I poisoned that blade on our travels.
I see.
But it would have had to been somebody who, well, no, I guess nobody could have known necessarily that I would give it to Prince Skjoll for the tournament. It could have been given to me as a leg up during my travels. But you probably should let a bitch know, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we should find the siblings. So that-
We should, and we need to not do anything rash, because on the one hand, you are not, I mean, you're all a little bit guilty, but you're not like this much guilty, right?
Right. None of us orchestrated the thing which occurred. It just sort of occurred, and it is a little bit my fault.
Right.
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 And that's a problem.
It's a little bit your fault, it's a little bit Skjoll's fault, and it's a lot of bit whoever changed out the poisons.
Right, because if it had been my poison, it just would have hurt a lot.
Right.
It would have just been, ooh, ouch. Bad.
There's one other possibility, since it was obviously intended for the hippo.
Right.
Is there anyone that wanted the hippo actually dead?
I think most people he encountered. Right?
Yeah, but like, I mean, most of us wanted to see him get his ass kicked. And
Right.
but who wanted him, like, dead? Anybody? Those are the two things that we would need to find out to get to the truth, I think.
I know.
Make a history check with advantage.
23.
23. You're not entirely certain of the history of Brass Bandalar leading up to the Grand Tournament, but you do know that he cheated during the joust and unseated the prince, Prince Riss.
Well, that's not helpful to us, is it?
Well,
Only us.
if somebody wanted revenge,
What if
For
I
the
wanted to kill
prince.
him?
I know that's a problem. You're not here.
So, look, we need to pursue maybe those two bits of investigation that could lead us to the truth of the matter.
Right. Do you think you could get into the medical tents?
Probably. I did just win the tournament.
That's true. If possible, we should gather up Prince Riss, Hugin, and Prince Skjoll and find a place to inform them of what has occurred, because I don't think they know.
I'm thinking back to the tournament real quick. I don't know if I would be this conniving, but I was thinking back to all the people who hit the king, and I was thinking like who you could plant the dagger on.
I know, right? I've been thinking about that, but I don't have it currently.
Oh, you don't. Who has it?
Skjoll.
Oh, he still has it?
Right, so we need him. We need him before anybody asks him for it. Right?
Yep.
Right?
Skjoll did a lot of attacking on him.
But other people also did. Did anybody else hit?
Skjoll,
the ladies did.
Skjoll.
yeah, I think Dame Liliana.
Skjoll. Condora hit the Gilded Fang with a guiding bolt. And we know that We know that it wasn't a cleric or paladin magic. It was some other kind of magic, which was already a little shady.
Are you saying your thoughts out loud?
Just staring off blankly.
Yes. So they attacked the Gilded Fang at some point. What weapon were they using? It was
Longsword?
a spear.
Oh.
That, not great. Because they were using a spear, not probably close enough to use a dagger.
No, but we could posit that her spear wasn't blunted.
True.
It's a similar wound. And she used suspicious magic. Who would do such a thing?
Also true.
Not me.
Also true.
Anybody at any time could have stabbed him. And a poison isn't always immediate.
Yeah.
I could have somebody begin to arrange carriages to somewhere else. In the event that shit hits the fan.
But isn't this like the seat of power for House Lupero? Like, why would you go
No.
somewhere else? Oh.
This is the seat of power. So we're currently in Oakreach, the castle,
oh.
the castle city. The seat of power for House Luperel is Howlheart Keep to the south.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Like the same territory, but not the same city.
Correct.
Gotcha. So
You're
really,
basically like you're in DC right now, or the Vatican City.
gotcha.
If that makes sense.
It does. It does. So your only real viable patsy would be Condora, I think, or not? Yeah, Condora.
I don't even know her.
I don't either.
You know what I mean? So
They are,
Nora, I don't even know her.
and they're from not even part of the kingdom. So
right.
They're from.
So why wouldn't they kill the king, right? Anybody could do it. It's not necessarily me or my betrothed.
They're.
Why would we?
They're definitely a person of suspicion as one of the people who hit the king.
Right.
Now, the wound, unless that dagger is found on Skjoll, he'll be less suspicious because of his choice of weapon, which is giant sword.
That's true. You don't do a little stab
Yeah.
with that. You
You-
do a big. You throw it at
literally,
people.
yeah.
You throw it.
I rubbed the part of my head that still hurts a little bit from yesterday when he did that.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe plan of action for now. You see if you can gather up the Luperels.
Okay.
I will see if I can, without raising any alarms, gather some carriages in case we need to get the fuck out of here.
Do you have any, I don't know, little people that you can send out to do investigation, like trusted critters of any sort?
Oh, there's always my father. He's up to a different job for me right now, but I'm sure I could find him.
Because if we can find out who changed the poison on the dagger, then we can make sure that they're punished.
Right. I have some ideas of who that could be. It was either that fucking armadillo. Could have been my mother. If it was her, I don't think it was really in the name of killing the king. I think it was kind of like, oh, don't fucking die, you're my only heir.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I'm not sure. I don't know who anybody else who could make such a powerful poison.
I wouldn't know, but I'll tell you what, while you consider that, I'll go get the others.
Good luck.
I assume you want me to get Skjoll as well as the other two.
Yes.
We'll probably have to, well, I
And
mean,
if
we'll
you
have to wake up
can't-
Skjoll and, well, I guess we'll have to wake up everybody.
And if you
I
can't
forgot everyone got knocked out.
get him, make sure that one of you gets that dagger.
Right.
Subtly.
Right. I'll do my best.
Great. Thank you so much. I'll go off to find Lord Asher.
It's a guess.
Nice. Lady Azalea, would you just a little bit of help from the GM side? Do you tell Lance where the dagger is hidden from the
Boot.
skills person?
Boot. Do I know which boot? I
was
saw
his
him
right
put it
boot.
back away. Right? Boot.
You saw him put it away after he used it?
I saw him put it back.
I wonder who else.
Yeah, Lance,
Saw him.
you recall before he faced you down and before you actually took Skjoll out, him like kneeling down, and you realized that was probably him slipping it back. Yeah, Lady Azalea rolled really high to notice it happening.
And Ari had background and
The burden of knowledge.
yeah.
I'm also, just for overview, because I'll be separate for a second, I think. While I'm looking for Lord Asher, I'm also going to try to see if there's anybody who's making fucking eyes at me who's listening to my conversations.
Okay, make a perception check as you exit the nobility stands.
Okay. 14.
You don't particularly notice anybody keeping eyes on you as you exit, and Lance begins making his way towards the healing tent. But we pass over his shoulder and a little bit back in time as that is all happening. We find ourselves moving through Champion's Alley, past several tents to a much larger tent at the end where the healers have been set up for the evening's festivities. Hugin, you awaken with 10 hit points.
I had X's, cartoon X's on my eyes.
Birds going around the bird's head.
The first thing that you see as your vision sort of comes back to you is large eyes and a small beak before you recognize the face of Elzor, the owl who has just healed you.
Fuck! God.
Apologies.
Oh, that voice.
Does anything still hurt? Are you feeling quite all right?
Yeah, no, everything hurts.
Well, now that you're up, you could drink this. And he hands you a similar potion bottle as we described for Lance earlier.
I don't even look at it.
You can roll 44 plus 4 to heal.
It's like, why not just say 48 if it's 44 plus 4?
14 plus 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 18.
Nice. You heal back 18 hit points. Elzor has stepped back, and you find yourself in the healer's tent. Go ahead and make a quick perception check for me.
Oh, that's a nat 20, baby!
Ooh, hell yeah. The first thing that you notice is in a cot next to you, about like 10 feet away, is Prince Riss, who is currently still unconscious but is being treated by a tall coyote. You actually recognize this figure. This is a priest of the Ardors named Flank. Flank is one of the personal attendants to House Luperel from the Temple of the Ardors in Howlheart Keep.
I'm gonna call out to him. How's he doing, Flank?
He will be better soon. I just have to do a few more. And he kind of like, he's like placing these very like smooth river stones on various like, on the shoulders and down the sternum. And kind of like...
He's doing Reiki on him.
and like passes his hands down before Riss kind of takes a breath, and you find yourself at consciousness with 12 hit points restored to you. As soon as you're like breathing and starting to kind of like sit up, he hands you a potion as well. You can also roll 4d4 plus 4. Hugin, as that's going on. Continuing to look around, you notice that as you're looking around, you see Cerberian and Dame Thrashley are brought in. As you're kind of looking around, they've just been retrieved.
Okay.
So you don't see Skjoll, the Gilded Fang, or Lance, or Condora.
Interesting.
Who could have won?
I think as I'm kind of looking around trying to piece this together, I'd thank Elzor for helping me, and I'm trying to like piece together what happened, and I think that I'm thinking Skjoll probably is either still fighting or won. Like I don't know what the outcome was. So yeah, I guess I'll ask Elzor. I mean, like, do you happen to know how the rest of the fight went?
At present, I am not entirely certain who won, but I do know that the fighting has ended, and that we've been brought all of the injured. So we are healing up those who we can now, and the others, I presume, have either been taken in by their personal healers, or they perhaps bowed out of the fight before unconsciousness. I'm not entirely sure. I've been within the healing tent, waiting for yourselves.
So I think that Hugin's trying to think about that, and like, if Riss is being worked on by Flank here, then there's not like a personal healer that would have had Skjoll, and Skjoll would not bow out. So that's just reaffirming this belief that Skjoll...
Yeah, I would say that's kind of like ringing around in both of your minds as Elzor walks over Could I have each of you make another perception check?
That's a dirty 20.
4.
Nice. Riss, you kind of like look down and are trying to think of like, well, but Skjoll, if Skjoll didn't win, he would be here, so he must have won.
Yeah.
That's excellent news. Meanwhile, Hugin, you
Rabbit's
notice...
not here either.
Must be dead.
He's got a sword thrown at his face again. Took him out for good this
So
time.
did that one bow out?
Yeah, that's where my mind's going. You must have bowed out.
Hugin, you notice as sort of on the far side of the tent, probably like a good 40 feet away from you, a group of guards enter that they have these sort of wide-brimmed hats that are tall and like basically like a cone that was like cut off and is flat on the top, wearing black and gold tabards as they enter and walk over to where Cerberian and Dame Slashley are, and they share a few words with the healers there, and a number of them start lifting up their cots and removing them from the tent.
Interesting.
You can also make a history check on that perception check.
Oh, that is a 27.
Damn!
Yeah, my history's good.
Yeah, you are aware that this is a retinue of lesser known to the public guards. They're known as the Black Fang, and they are personal guardsmen to the Throne Warden, the High Throne Warden, I should say. These are Lord Bristlebeard's personal guard.
Does that strike me as odd at all?
I would say the thing that strikes you as odd is not that the personal guard of the High Throne Warden is coming into, because these are royal guardsmen.
Right.
The weird thing is that they weren't treated first. That they were brought to the healing tent and are now, like, they literally like just came in and were sat down, and then these guys come in and say a few things that you can't hear and then remove them.
So they're
They
still
awake?
unconscious? Yeah.
No, they're unconscious.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I think I like motion at wrist to like look at that.
Yeah, you notice the same thing. Dame Thrashley is removed and Cerberian is being lifted shortly after.
I'm gonna kind of start to get up. Are we good to go? Can we?
Yes, if you're feeling better, if there's nothing else that you require, you are free to leave. It was good to see you again.
Me too.
My lady.
And I start
my
like kind of
prince.
smoothing down the feathers because I'm probably all fucked up.
Yeah, Elzor gives a deep bow to each of you as you make your way elsewhere.
What happened?
think-
What's
I don't know. I think we need to go find out what happened though.
okay? Did
Yeah.
you get that Siberian guy?
No, he got me, unfortunately.
Fuck that guy.
So, are the two of you
Fuck him indeed.
So strong.
are the two
Forgot about that.
some backups? Are the two of you like? Are you going to confront the Black Fang, or are you trying to like stealthily follow
I
them?
think stealthily follow to like see if like I don't want to like be a parent or anything. I just kind of want to see either where they're going or like see if I can overhear what they're saying at all.
Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check. Prince Riss, are you joining?
They're the sneaky one. Can I just hang back a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. You kind of like linger in the doorway of the tent. Make a perception check as you do.
It's a 22 on stealth.
13.
13. Okay.
It's a whole +0.
Looking out at about this time, you're seeing that Lance is being led from the tournament list to beneath the nobility stands.
And he looks... How does he look?
He looks a little bloodied, but he is like waving and smiling and doesn't look like he's had horrible news beset upon him at this point in time.
Must have bowed out.
Hugin, you stealthily trail behind this retinue of Black Fang members who are carrying Dame Thrashley and Cerberian. You follow as they tuck behind some tents and actually make their way into the castle city proper and head through a large stone gateway. With your knowledge of the area, making yourself more and more familiar, you find a less traveled sewer grate less used, I should say, sewer grate that you can lift up and tuck yourself into, traveling through a couple of tight curves and corners before exiting. Make another quick perception check to gather where the Black Fang is from now, since you had to briefly separate.
That's an 11.
11? Okay, the DC was only 10 at this point, so not bad. Quietly lowering the grate, you just catch the flittering end of a black and gold tabard disappearing around a corner, and you quietly hop over, peering around the corner, and you see that they've actually tucked into an alleyway, and one of them is sort of standing guard outside.
Shit. Do I know like where in the city this is? Like what that building would be, or like what's around that area?
Make a history check with advantage.
A 14.
You're aware that this is, basically they tucked into an alley between the stables and a livestock pen. This is an area where they keep a number of different types of bugs and beetles.
That's odd.
I would say also on that note, you know that there is an outlet on the other side that may not be guarded as this one is.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sneak over there.
Yeah, go ahead and make me one more stealth check.
Oh God. Is there any chance that this is in dim light?
I would say yes, because the grand melee actually took place at sunset.
Nice.
So yeah, it's actually dark by now.
So in dim light or darkness, I can get advantage on dexterity stealth checks.
Hell yeah. I don't know what's happening to me.
It's only 15, but still.
I'm so glad I didn't try to sneak along with you. I'm just trying to imagine Riff doing all this stuff. Like, I'm going in the sewer.
Your armor just like scraping against metal the whole way. Hugin, you tuck around and a guard has not been posted on this side. You just barely, like keeping your beak down so as not to cut across as your silhouette first, just get your eye around.
It's so difficult.
And
Damn this thing.
you watch as, like just as you're peering around the corner, you see a dagger is pulled across Siberian's throat. And his body is dumped into the area where there's a little opening, and yeah, you watch as they slash across the throats of Siberian and Dame Thrashley and dump the bodies before looking up. You pull your head back quickly as they kind of look down in your direction, and your heart, you can feel and hear it beating in your ears as you wait, but footsteps don't approach, and they vanish down the corridor the other direction.
I fucking book it back to Riss.
Okay.
And I'm just thinking, like, I gotta find Skjoll.
Yeah, you're like skittering and like pushing through the sewer grate area. You find your way back into the tournament list. Riss still standing there.
What are people doing and acting like around?
You actually see that a number of the onlookers are starting to disperse. And the nobles have like stood up in the stands, and there's people having conversations with one another. Make one more perception check for me.
11.
Prince Riss, you see, and you don't even really make a note of it, but you see coming around from the outside, or rather the backside of the nobility stands, is a badger in light finery, kind of like just a waistcoat and a long jacket, who comes around from the back looking a little bit flustered. You think maybe he drank too much and had to go and empty his stomach. As he comes out, he's kind of like straightening himself and like fast walks past you, and you make no note of it, other than the fact that he must be, based on the orange and the steel blue of his outfit, that he must be of one of the lesser houses, probably House Mastel, as he is a badger. And then Hugin returns, looking a little frantic.
Yep, wide-eyed and... Come on.
What?
Come, we gotta go.
Where?
Anywhere, come on,
All right,
go.
I'll follow you.
I'm just gonna whisper, did you hear anything about what happened at the contest?
No.
I'm gonna try to find a place that's like quiet and like
Yeah.
nobody can hear us.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no roll required even for Hugin. Finding a quiet, private place is easier than it is for most.
Okay. I'm gonna like look around and make sure, like...
Can I?
Yeah, you guys kind of like come into the opposite side of the noble stands. The nobility have started exiting. but are kind of going around the other side towards the castle town. You come around to the far side and find a nice, private, quiet place to talk.
More importantly, the Throne Warden's guards. They fucking killed Siberian and Thrashley. They took him to the fucking stables and they fucking slit their throats. I don't know.
What the fuck happened?
I don't know. We gotta figure out what happened at the fucking tournament.
Lance,
I know I said fuck that guy, but like he deserved better than that though.
Yeah. And I like pick out a leaf from my hair. Fuck. Entanglement.
Lance, you exit the noble stands underneath, and Lady Azalea cuts off one way, you cut off the other. The two of you hear footsteps approaching. Peering around the corner, you see Lance.
I'm heading towards the medical tent.
Lance, hey,
Oh,
hey,
we need to talk.
we do. What happened?
That's a complicated question. That's a very complicated question. Where to start?
Who won?
This guy.
I think you're just like looking like dumbfounded at first. I was just like, and back to you, you're just like,
But that's not the complicated part. We need. Is there anybody else around?
No, not in this area.
I'm like listening to see if I hear any like rustling in any bushes or anything nearby.
Make a perception check.
are you sniffing around?
Not great. 13.
13?
Smells like blood. Oh shit.
That's just me. No, you do not. You don't hear any rustling. You don't smell any foul stenches or perfumed stenches on the wind.
I'll draw closer so that we can speak quietly. Okay, so the Gilded Fang was the king in disguise.
The king was in the
Wait,
stands.
like which king?
The king was not in the stands. That was
You mean
the
the
High
High
King.
King?
The High King.
The
The High King. And he is dead. He was stabbed with a dagger that was poisoned, and he died. Now, the person who stabbed him with the dagger was Skjoll.
that
From what I
that doesn't
understand,
sound right. Don't,
From what I understand, the dagger was intended for Brass, the hippo. It wasn't intended to kill him. It was just intended to stab him because he's a dick. But
what is Skjoll doing with a poisoned dagger?
somebody altered the poison that was on it. We don't know who changed out the poison. Whoever that person is, I think, wanted the king dead.
You
How do you-
poisoned it to begin with.
How do you know this?
It was revealed to me just a couple of moments ago by the other party involved.
The one that apparently wanted to assassinate Brass?
Well, they didn't, again, nobody wanted Brass dead. They just wanted him stabbed. This dagger was given to Skjoll as a tool to be used against the hippo in case the hippo had any more fuckery in him after what he had done before. It wasn't intended as a weapon of murder, from my understanding. And I believe the person who told me.
Where's Skjoll?
I was going to the medical tent to try to find all three of you. So we should probably go see if he's there, since you're not there.
And he definitely wasn't there, right?
No.
Tell him what you saw.
We definitely need to find Skjoll. The Throne Warden's guards came and took away Siberian and Thrashley.
Like the king's guards?
Throne Warden's guards.
Oh.
You know, Bristlebeards.
That mother frother.
I followed them. They fucking killed them. They offed them.
Whoa. They assassinated?
The king's, yes, the king's guards are now dead. And apparently the High King is dead too.
Can I have all of you make an intelligence check? Let's make a politics check.
Fuck!
Oh, that's better.
Oh my god.
Politics check. 21.
Nice.
Shit, only
8.
a 9.
8 and 9. Lance, as you're given this information that Lord Bristlebeard's personal private guardsmen just assassinated the 2 royal guards that participated in the tournament, things start to fall into place in your mind. Probably the only 2 who knew the Gilded Fang's true identity, outside of Lady Azalea, who surmised it, and yourself,
Bristle.
who was told.
Yeah.
And Bristle.
Yeah. And so he's going to have a puppet king that no one knows isn't the king, as long as
Are you saying this?
no one else. Well, I'm thinking it in my mind. What I'll say is...
And on that politics check, you realize there's one more person who may be in grave danger. The former High Queen Juniper Theros. That was her adopted son. The throne falls to her if anything has happened to him. But if Bristle's plan is to put a figurehead in place, she would recognize her own adopted son.
So where would she be?
Most likely, she would be in her chambers within the castle itself.
Who could we trust to protect her amongst, like, the royal guard, like just regular royal guards people?
Most likely, she would have her own personal royal guards as the former High Queen.
Cerberian would have been real good at that.
Yeah. Are there any
R.I.P.
royal guards who I can, like? I guess there were some in the royal tent area, right?
There were the 4 that led you under the noble area that are probably actually making their way back up into the stands into the royal docks, where the High King currently is.
The old Queen Mother's in danger. She's the only other one that would know that the king wasn't the king. Or that could prove that whoever they're propping up as this fake king isn't the king. We need to ensure that she's protected. And we need to find Skjoll. Yeah. So,
We need to find our brother.
do you guys want to go find Skjoll and I'll have the guard go and protect the Queen Mother?
Hugin's now thinking, I'm not even going to say this out loud, but yeah, if Skjoll was the one who's implicated in this murder and the only people that would know about a certain cover-up,
I would.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to be like, family comes first. We got to find our brother.
Find Skjoll, meet up with Lady Azalea. I'm going to go tell the King's Guard specifically, to get some protection for the Queen Mother. I'll think of something to tell them.
Yeah, I think that we head off and try to search for Skjoll.
Do I have anything on me? Like, do I have shield,
Yeah, we don't have
any
any.
weapons, anything?
Make a luck check. I'm gonna say, on a 15 or higher, you grabbed your weapons. That
I'd do
looked
the
cocked.
same.
Yeah.
I think it was a 7.
It looked cocked
That's a
to me.
6.
6.
Should I reroll?
I mean, it looked cocked to me.
That's pretty cocked. 17.
Nice. I would say, yeah. Prince Risk, you had the wherewithal to gather your weapons and shield, and Hugin's as well, before you left the medical tent. They're all the blunted weapons. Your actual weapons would be in Champion's Alley in your tents.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I have my shield with me, at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you could retrieve your weapons.
Maybe we check at the tents anyways first.
Okay.
I think as we're heading that direction, doing the check again, making sure that we're out of earshot.
Yeah, both of you make a perception check.
That's going to be a dirty 20.
It's going to be 2.
2.
Oh,
Hugin.
my sweet himbo.
As Prince Riss is moving with a mission towards Champion's Alley to the tent, you round up behind him and are kind of keeping an eye out. And as you're passing by the medical tent, you notice that the Gilded Fang is being carried into it. The Gilded Fang is being taken into the tent. And you notice that as they're kind of rounding the corner, the hand kind of like slumps unconscious off to the side. And he was wearing a glove on that paw during the fight. And you see dark brown fur.
Not the gold of the High King.
Correct.
The cover up is beginning. Yeah, I think that we just gotta book it, get our stuff, find her brother. I have to take care of something. And yeah, I'm just gonna suit up at the, what was it, Champions?
The Champions Alley, yeah.
Champions Alley, okay. As we are going there, do we see, is Skjoll there, any of the Luperel guards there, or anything?
Make another perception check.
Oh, damn. That's only an 8.
6.
6. No, you do not see Skjoll or any Luperel. There are Luperel guards, your royal guard of Timberhaven, stationed outside of your tent, but Skjoll is not present.
I'm having a panic attack. That's why I can't see anything around him, right?
Yeah.
I thought you, the
Yeah.
person, that's very casual.
Yeah, Riss is very like tunnel vision, walks right past the guards, starts like, you're already in your armor. You grab your sharpened weapons and begin fastening them in place. Hugin, you do the same.
Daggers. And then I'm going to immediately either try to tail Lance or find Lady Azalea, whichever I can do first. I'm going to start heading towards where I thought Lance was going.
Okay. I would imagine Lance was headed towards the royal box.
I was.
So I would say to get all the way to Champions Alley and then back to Lance, he's probably already up there because he just had to go around the corner and up some stairs.
Would I know where the queen would be since she wasn't at the tournament?
The High Queen would be in her chambers in the castle, which is like a couple miles away. Like the center of the castle town is the palace.
And he didn't tell us where to find Lady Azalea either.
No, I would say your best guess would probably be the noble apartments, I should say, within Castletown, where House Vulpes was being put up for their stay.
This is such a tough decision. I'm like,
I would say you do know exactly where Lady Azalea's room is, because that's where you kind of interrogated those handmaidens and got those rumors.
yeah. Yeah, Hugin's going to try to get back to where Lance was
Excellent, okay.
as quickly as possible.
Okay, so I need 2 things from you. First, I need you to roll a d10.
That's a 9.
9, excellent. And also roll a perception check.
A 9.
We're going to cut over to Lance, who, in the time that it's taken Hugin to suit up and get her sharpened weapons and head back to his position, there's going to be 9 minutes in between. So, Lance, you approach the stairwell to the royal box, and a pair of guards there cross their glaives. May we ask, what it is the champion seeks?
I'm looking for the Queen Mother.
The Queen Mother is not present, as she was feeling under the weather this morning. She did not attend the Grand Tourney.
Do you know where she is?
Within the palace, I would presume.
She needs additional protection right now.
And why would that be? A voice calls from the top of the stairs as you see Bristlebeard, the armadillo, is slowly, he's like kind of holding up his robes so that he can more easily step down the stairs, like holding onto the railing. A good day to you again, champion.
In situations that require the utmost expediency, questions aren't appropriate, action is. We need guards there to protect her immediately.
I see, it will be done. He looks down at the 2 royal guards. Send for the Black Fang to protect the queen.
No, the royal guards. The Black Fang are busy. I saw them attending to other things. We need the royal guards.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Not great. 8.
Bristlebeard kind of like stiffens for a moment before looking to the 2 guards that are still kind of like crossing the path, nods towards them. Send for the extra members of the Black Fang to protect the High Queen, Juniper of House Theros. Sir Lance, or Lance, would you mind joining me?
I don't have time, and I leave.
You go to take a step away, and he calls out, "Seize him!"
Oh no.
I need you to make a either acrobatics or athletics check.
Oh, I'm really great at all those.
The DC is 17.
Natural 20. Which is a 28.
All right, you duck out of the way of these 2 guards who attempt to grab you, and you begin running, I presume. If not, they're going to continue to try and sees you.
Like a slippery guy.
I hop.
On a nat 20, I'm going to say you have your choice of if you would like to run or whatever else you want to do. But 2 royal guards have just attempted to grapple you, and you have ducked out of the way. I will say also that that 9-minute time period for Hugin, that's not in-game minutes. I have a timer running on my phone, and at that point you will show up at the royal box. We're at 4 minutes, 5 seconds currently.
I'll say there's no time for this. You need to protect the Queen Mother. As I've hopped out of their range. I'm not drawing my weapons or anything like that. So I just won the tournament. I don't have any reason to be seized. I'm not a threat to anyone. I'm trying to protect the royal family.
Bristlebeard straightens up a little bit more.
Mr. Lance, you're implying that the High Queen, former High Queen, is in danger.
I am.
And I am attempting to send my own personal guard, in addition to the Royal Guardsmen already standing watch over the High Queen, in order to protect her. Are you implying that my guardsmen wish the Queen ill will?
I'm implying that your guardsmen were seen carrying away 2 members of the Royal Guard, so they have their hands literally full right now, trying to deal with them.
If your understanding is that my personal guard consists of 6 men, and they're all busy, you are sorely mistaken.
What I'm saying is you've got 2 guards right here who can go. And if you've got your own guard, then you don't need them.
These guards are protecting the High King himself in his royal box. The Queen Mother has her own retinue of royal guard. I will send word and have the Queen Mother protected by my own personal guardsmen. I don't like what you're insinuating, sir.
I didn't insinuate anything.
Make
Literally.
make one more persuasion check with disadvantage.
That's not me.
I'm
Just
going,
want to point out, not me doing
6.
I'm going to implode.
At this point,
Just gonna take a.
4 more guardsmen are coming down from the top of the stairs. And
Are they Royal Guards or Black Fang Guards?
they are royal guards.
Okay.
All of these are royal guardsmen in the purple and gold of House Theros. And he sends them down to begin surrounding you if you stand still and allow this to happen.
I can't be surrounded. I will jump out of the way.
Okay, at this point, a chase is beginning.
Nice.
Bristlebeard calls out again.
Seize that man. Don't let that rabbit get away. He wishes harm to the High Queen, Juniper of House Theros.
And the guards begin giving chase. So go ahead and roll initiative.
Natural
Okay.
20.
Wow.
Why didn't you do that on your
yeah.
persuasion rolls?
Or during that combat last night.
I don't have control of when
The
Yeah.
dice have a story to tell.
the Fable Fires
They're
come
doing
out.
their own thing.
They're doing their own thing.
Fucks. Yeah, that's for sure.
Lance, you're up first. I will say this is not combat, this is a chase sequence. So the way that this works, there are no bonus actions, there are movement and action. You can use your action to dash or do anything else that you would like, and the guards will be in the same boat.
None of my weapons are lethal right now.
Yeah, you have barely exited the arena at this point, and you have a couple of blunted appendages. You have a blunted short sword and a blunted rapier.
Of the people trying to get me, they consist of Royal Guard.
Yes,
Completely?
six royal guardsmen. 2 of them are wielding like halberd glaive implements, and the others are drawing short swords and long swords.
What better way to get 6 Royal Guards up to the Queen's chambers than to have them follow me?
I will say, Lance, you would be aware, to get into the palace, you're going to pass a number of more royal guards.
Can I get past all of them?
That's a great question.
Can you run for 2 miles? That's not that far.
Can I personally run for 2 miles? That's a better one.
Me, no.
In D&D terms, that's a long chase.
Yeah.
That's a lot of 6 seconds.
I will
pretty
say,
fast.
at this point in time, I need Hugin to also roll initiative.
Good Lord.
That is a 13.
So I'm just going to let you know, McCall, what Hugin sees at this point while Lance is considering his option. you have armored up and you've got all your gear, and you're headed back. You peer around the corner just in time to hear Bristlebeard call out, "Seize that man! He wishes the High Queen Juniper of House Theros harm!" And you see 6 royal guards that are basically giving chase to Lance. Lance, what do you do?
I know that if I get caught, I'm just going to get executed. Like, this guy's not going to leave. This guy knows that I know. And he's not going to leave me alive. Okay, well, I'm just going to book it for now. I don't really have a great option.
Excellent. So you use your full movement and action to dash?
Yep. And I'm going to say, I'm not heading towards the queen, but you guys should.
They follow you.
Oh, bad call.
This is a real bad call.
One of them is not going to use his action to dash, but instead is going to use it to fire a crossbow bolt at you.
Of course.
And he was locked and loaded. That's a natural 20.
That
I'm not even.
does hit.
I'm not gonna shift anything. I rolled a 19 and a 20 with advantage. You take 12 points of piercing damage
Ow.
as a crossbow bolt sticks into your meaty thigh near the cheeks.
Got your cheeks.
And that's gonna bring us.
Got your cheeks.
Fluffy little bunny cheeks.
Oh no.
That brings us
Not the cheeks.
to
My cheeks
Bristle.
were pierced, not
Those
plowed.
are my champion cheeks.
Not my champion cheeks. That brings us to Bristlebeard,
Oh.
who is going to call out, "You're making a mistake, Lance. We could still talk this out." That brings us to Hugin.
Oh yeah, you're here.
You see Lance.
Just gonna.
Yeah, it is up to you whether or not you want to involve yourself in this situation.
We don't know each other like that, so.
I'm gonna see how this plays out. And yeah, can I just hold my turn?
Yeah.
You want to hide?
As a free action, make up another perception check.
Yeah, am I visible? Like,
No, you kind of like similarly like peered around the corner. You're not like hidden, but you are also not the focus. Like he's not running. Lance isn't running towards you. Is what I'll say. He's running the opposite direction.
That would suck.
Help! Help! It's treason.
Oh, is it?
16.
You tuck yourself back around the corner and are kind of like keeping eyes to see how this is going to play out. And you peer over, and about 50 feet away, the entry to the medical tent. Stepping out, kind of like rubbing his head, you see Skjoll.
Okay, in that case, I am going to very swiftly and quietly get to him.
Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. First, that brings us back to the top of the round. Lance.
I reply very loudly so that all of the guards and everyone in earshot can hear. I'll say, "Why would you want to discuss something with me if you think I'm a threat to the queen?" And I keep running off.
Okay, make another just base persuasion check with disadvantage.
Benny Hill's theme
14?
song starts playing.
Yeah, you continue
Love it.
rushing with action, bonus action, or I'm sorry, action and movement.
Yeah, so I'll use my dash and whatnot. To...
Okay, excellent. The Royal Guards do the same. The one who had initially fired with his action uses his full action and movement to keep up, basically, and another one is going to fall behind and fire another crossbow bolt. That is only a 17 to hit.
It does not.
Excellent. That crossbow bolt goes wide. Bristlebeard calls 2 of them back to protect the king. Hugin. You rush over to Skjoll, who's sort of like rubbing his scarred side of his face, right where you're not aware of this, but right where Lance caught him in the face with the last attack. He steps out and looks up. Ah, Hugin.
Shh, quiet. Is there anything that I can like kind of cover him with? Is there like, does he have a cloak or something I could kind of?
He was wearing a
Giant
cloak.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like try to get him as
Pull it over his head. And he's
inconspicuous
like,
as I can
"Can I
for a
help you?
giant.
What is the meaning of this?"
Quiet. We haven't called And then I'm gonna like try to usher him as quickly and as quietly back to the Champion's Alley where Riss was.
All right. Care to explain along the way, or?
No, actually. Better be kept in the dark, my friend.
All right. That
Spot of
rabbit,
danger, just
that
make
rabbit was
haste.
quite formidable. He fought well.
You as well, let's fucking hoof it.
All right, all right.
Yeah, he's walking quickly with you as you make your way towards Champion Alley.
I'm also like peeking over and like seeing what the fuck's going on with Lance if I can see him.
At this point, you've got like basically that noble box is between you.
Okay, perfect.
If it's sitting here, you've come around this way, and Lance is running in this direction.
I'm just seeing all this in my head. It's just like this very cartoony sequence. Like, go.
Put this on your head.
He's standing backwards. You're just
This is inconspicuous. I'll just wear my cloak like
There's
this.
just a little raven like hopping behind him.
I think my meat might be cooked. We'll see.
Lance, it is your turn.
I'm gonna continue running, but I'm gonna keep telling the guards, don't let the only guards protecting the queen be the Black Fang. I'm warning you.
You keep calling out and running, starting to like get lower on breath. The royal guards, two of them peel off and head back towards the nobility boxes to protect the king. Bristle Bristlebeard himself does not give chase, but the guards continue to do so. At this point, there are 4 left chasing you. Another one of them in front. This one is not locked and loaded, but he gets a crossbow at the ready and loads it and is going to attempt to fire on you.
Biscuit.
Natural 1.
Nice.
As you continue running, pushing through the crowd at this point, and the guards chasing after you, there are like whispers among everybody, just like, was that the champion? Why is he running? And
I'm bleeding.
yeah, like limping from the
cheek.
bolt in your ass.
It just reminds me of Yakul, Princess Mononoke.
oh.
Oh no. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
12.
You continue rushing through and are getting outside of the tournament grounds and more into like the festival area where there are a number of like tents with various games set up for people at the festival to partake in. A number of festivities. There's some people like trying to get a ring on a series of bottles that are set up and losing most of their coin doing so. You smell cooked bug meats and vegetables that kind of like is lingering through the space as you are running and breathing heavily, and it's your turn.
Is there anywhere that I can like lose these guys? Like lose them in the crowd, like hide behind a booth, anything like that?
Make a perception check. I'll say on a 15 or higher, you can find a place that you can try and tuck in. Nice.
24.
24. Yeah, up ahead, one of the few brick and mortar buildings of the space is set up. It is a little blacksmithing area that it's been opened up to the public, and there's actually a blacksmith giving classes, and there's like a bunch of young cubs and kits that are like learning how to make nails and things. But it is a stone building with a furnace at the back. You tuck into the alley between that and the tent next door, and you can go ahead and use your action to make a stealth check if you'd like.
I would like 21.
21. Nice. I'm going to go ahead and make a roll in the Tray of Fate.
Skillet.
This is a perception check. They need to meet a 21. Guards, kind of their only thing. It's keeping watch, protecting. They do get +6 to this roll. Yeah. So they need to roll a 15 or higher?
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. That is a natural 3. The guards are pushing through the crowd. There are a number of members of House Caniculus, several other rabbits with similar fur textures and colors to yours in the area. They're like pushing through. They lose sight of you. You see them like grabbing commoners, like pushing them out of the way, like trying to look at people's faces as they are searching for you. But they walk right past your alley and are still rushing through the crowd, assuming that you went on forward, and you narrowly escape capture.
Nice. I'm not going to be able to meet up with the group directly right now because I'm a wanted hare.
We're going to brush over once again to Lady Azalea.
Right.
Where do you find yourself, Lady Azalea? Last thing you knew, Lance was going to collect the princes and Hugin.
And I trust him to do that.
If only you knew everything else that had happened.
I would start by looking for Lord Asher.
Okay. Where do you think Azalea would look first?
Outhouses?
Yeah, there's a row of outhouses.
That's where I would dump
Make a
heinous poison.
So
And do.
I'm gonna roll. This is just gonna be for me.
Yeah.
This is just gonna be for me in the audience.
Okay.
So I would ask that you guys don't look at the screen over there.
I can't read it anyway, so I tried.
I don't know how to read.
Never learned.
I'll put on the special
read.
sunglasses.
You want a high roll.
I want a high roll.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also wearing contacts.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Are things good?
This light is so bright.
20. Dirty.
20.
Filthy. Disgusting. Like the outhouses.
Yeah, it smells literally like ass over here.
Uh-huh.
And as you are kind of like rushing over and looking around, you like open a couple of doors. The first one that you open, and there's a beaver who just kind of like, you quickly close it, move on to the next one, empty, several empty in a row.
Why don't I knock? Why don't I do that?
Would you like to do that?
Yeah,
You
I'd
start.
love it.
You open and see a beaver that you didn't want to, and
Knee slap.
and from there you start knocking. You don't hear any voices that sound like Lord Asher.
Okay.
Basically, my luck roll was to see if he is here.
Okay, failing that. Okay, yeah, that said then, I'm guessing there are, like, stables here and carriage houses.
Yeah, there's a stable in the castle town.
I'm gonna head there.
Excellent. We follow Lady Azalea as she exits the tournament grounds, quickly caught up to by a pair of guards of House Vulpus, who are breathing a little heavily, and they're just like, my lady, let us escort you.
Sure, actually, if you happen to have a moment, I apologize. You ran all the way here, so I'm sorry. I'll
Yes, but
pat him on the shoulder.
we must keep you safe, my lady.
Sure. If you happen to see my father,
Lord Asher, yes, I believe he returned to the royal, the noble apartments.
he could have let someone know.
He did inform us he took a retinue of guards with him as well. Shall we escort you to the noble apartments, my lady?
No, please, thank you. In that event, should you happen to come across my betrothed or his siblings, gather them in one place, please. And
Yes, how do the royal apartments sound?
that's so far away, isn't it?
It's where all of your things, your belongings are. Or would you perhaps like us to gather your belongings and bring them elsewhere? What are your commands, my
Is there any commotion occurring? Does everything still seem chill back there?
Make a perception check.
Sure. 15?
15 at this point. On a 15 in this area, no. There's nothing. There's no hubbub. It's kind of like the dying down of the festival. A lot of people have had a lot to drink. The moon has risen high in the sky.
If you find any of my companions, including Mr. Lance Laporte, should you see them before you see me again, send them towards the stables, towards Castletown.
Castletown stables? Yes, my
Right.
lady. Would you
If-
like me to go off and find them?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Excellent. Yes, my lady.
If
He bows.
you see me first, just gather them in a central location nearby.
It will be done.
And this fox guard, like gray fennec fox, bows to you and sets off, leaving one guard with you, just to have protection on the tournament grounds.
Sure, I'm done.
And where you're headed towards the stables?
Yeah.
Excellent. So yeah, we follow Lady Azalea and one of her royal guardsmen, or soon-to-be royal guardsmen, I should say, as you are not a royal yet. As you walk by unknowingly, just past the pen where Cerberian and Dame Thrashley are currently being devoured, as you go to the stables next door.
Do you ever think about Sir Back Abs?
All the time.
Right?
I mean, how do you even get that many muscles in the backside?
How many muscles does this guard have?
Make a roll a luck check.
7.
7? Not many.
I mean, you could stand to work on it. You're a god, after all.
He's got that. He's got that physique of like guy who was a star football athlete in high school, but now he's in his 40s. Like a hard belly. You know what I mean? It's not abs, but it's a hard belly.
Like
Very
there's
wide.
abs beneath it.
Yeah.
If I needed you to run, are you breathing heavily? We've been walking at a leisurely pace.
I'm fine.
Is he fine?
Yeah, he seems good. He seems to still just kind of be catching his breath from when he had to like find you. It's less of like I've been running and more of like I thought we lost our person we're supposed to be guarding, but we found her thankfully.
I think, maybe they should put out some sort of like workout regimen of Siberian for the public to follow.
That would be excellent, my
Great
lady.
marketing, right?
Yes,
They
perhaps
should
this
hire
could be
me.
a business venture that you could thrust yourself into.
Nobility doesn't do
Join the
business.
Arcanarama Patreon for the memes or back abs work.
Do you want abs on your back?
How would you even make that? I guess you do. No, that's a lab.
Yeah, I don't think there really are abs in that area.
In the back? No.
As you arrive at the stables, we hop back over to Hugin. Riss, were you waiting at the Champions Alley?
I'll just say what I was planning to do is just ask some people where the hell they took my brother and stuff. So I'm probably just like, but where is he?
Yeah. and-
Shaking civilians.
yeah. Your guardsman is like being shaken. He's like, I'm sorry, my lord. He's in the medical tent.
Are we walking up at this point?
Yeah, at this point, he rounds the
I
corner.
think, before we get there, I would have been like, Skjoll, do you have a dagger? Honest answer, do you have a dagger?
Make a persuasion check with advantage. Because I don't think Skjoll has ever seen you this flustered before.
They're both 9s. Okay, but with persuasion is 15.
He kind of like looks down at his ankle holster.
I just immediately like grab it and pocket it, like hide it somewhere on me.
Yeah, we'll say you have an empty sheath that you can stick it in.
And then, approach and just like, Prince Riss?
Brother.
You mind melds?
You fared well in that fight. It was a rough combat. That rabbit is quick.
We'll see if he's quick enough. Yes, next step is Lady Azalea, if we can find her, and then also King Lupin after that. Right? Okay. Also, get your stuff. And like points to the tent.
Takes the blunted sword out and gets the actual great sword back in his sheath, already armored up and healed. At about this time, a smaller fennec fox comes out of breath, pushing around the corner.
Tyrion just points.
Like, my liege, and kneels and like bows to both of you. Forgive me, the Lady Azalea wishes to have an audience with you at the Castletown stables.
Let's go. Yep.
I shall lead you. And the other guards of Luperel join in and flank you guys on either side.
I did also tell him to look for Lance.
Oh, that's true. So he would inform the Luperelian guards to escort you there, and then he rushes off. Make another stealth check, Lance. The DC is, 21.
Well, I only rolled a 20, but if that's not good enough, I can roll it again with a lucky feat. I guess it depends on who's catching me.
Yeah, I think the thing with Lucky Feet is that you have to choose if you're going to re-roll before you know the outcome.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't know if
I will tell you, I rolled two perception checks just now. I told you one of them.
Wow.
And I won't let you know which one is for whom.
Well, I'll feel like I did my best in that moment.
Excellent. Have you like disguised yourself in any way?
Yeah, like I've taken off my bandages and I've like slicked back my ears and
Oh, you're a bad
Are you,
rabbit.
yeah.
are you gonna Bugs Bunny babushka it?
You said I was in like the blacksmith or like in the back of the blacksmith thing, right?
Yeah.
Were there any like regular weapons of the types that I use in there that I could have nabbed?
Make a
And now
luck
we're
check.
stealing. You've taken a turn, Lance. Uh-oh.
It's a 4.
you find a single sharpened dagger. It's like, not terrible. In a pinch, that's a +5 to your armor class.
That's true. I'm gonna grab it.
Grab it like a rabbit.
You tuck it into your belt. I'll say you also find just some like discarded cloth there as well that you can kind of like make a makeshift cloak for yourself.
To make myself feel better, I'm gonna leave my blunted dagger where the sharpened dagger was.
Absolutely. You do so.
And I'll wrap myself up so that I'm a little bit concealed and sneak out.
You're sneaking out, you look up and you see the royal guards in the distance, kind of like keeping eyes out and talking with commoners and like giving a description of you. And you like tuck and turn away. And as you round a corner, you bump into a fennec fox. Lance Leporide. Congratulations on your win, sir.
Oh, thank you.
My lady wishes to have an audience with you at the Castletown stables. Would you mind joining me?
Yes, but let's keep a low profile.
All
There's some fuckery about.
Fuckery, indeed.
Yeah.
How many back abs does this guy have?
I'm gonna roll the luck check this time.
Do it.
That's a 15.
Oh, this one's hot.
Well, he's a fennec fox, so
That's
gotta
true.
he's gotta be a little cute guy.
Aw.
But secretly jacked. I think the kids are calling it a sleeper build these days.
Oh.
Where you
I always call it
you look
karate
really-
jacked because
Yeah.
people who do a lot of like martial arts are
Yeah.
jacked in a different way.
Yeah, like when you see him in a t-shirt, you're like, that's just a guy. But then they take the t-shirt off and you're like, oh, he could kill me.
With his abs, and oh no, how
I
sad
can
it would
see
be.
every muscle. Wow.
He leads you quietly. Let's go ahead and make one more stealth check with advantage, as he's going to give you the help action.
19.
Once again, +6 to perception for the Royal Guard. Okay. You quietly follow this Fennec Fox guard of House Vulpus, who leads you back through the gates into the castle town. There's not a lot of hubbub here, so it doesn't seem that word has traveled this far yet. This has all been happening pretty quickly in succession, and you are led in, once again, actually probably meeting up with the Luperel retinue right about at the gate, and the two of you converge.
Hugin just keeps walking, very surprised to see Lance. Doesn't say anything though.
I'll keep following the fox, still keeping a low profile.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does Skjoll see him?
Or recognize me.
Yeah.
Or have clear vision.
He doesn't seem to at the moment.
He sees 3 of you.
He's distracted because about the time that you guys meet up, pass through the gate, not far inside of the castle town is where the stables are positioned. And Hugin, as you kind of like have a deep swallow and glance at the alley where Cerberian and Dame Slashley were executed, Lady Azalea is out front of the stables, and Skjoll's a little distracted by seeing his betrothed. He rushes forward and actually like gets down on a knee and takes one of your paws, Lady Azalea.
My apologies, miss. I could not hold up to what I had promised. I should have pushed myself harder.
No, I think you did more than enough. Right, so working on getting a carriage, I think it would behoove us to perhaps collect our things and be on our way.
So soon.
We'll talk in the carriage, I think.
Agreed. And the Luperel guards, I'll turn to him. King Lupin, is he? You know his whereabouts?
King Lupin is within the royal chambers, the noble apartments. Shall we fetch him?
Within his own.
Yes.
Okay.
He's not much of one for festivities outside of the tournament, so he's retired early to his room. Shall I retrieve him as well and inform him of our...
No, he should be fine.
He's probably dead.
What?
I don't know.
What?
Look.
No, let's
Just pull knives on him. You son of a bitch.
Oh, I'm there with you.
But now I think he should be all right. But maybe all would benefit from returning to
we need to get somewhere safer quick.
To
Someone
Howlheart.
Correct.
should fill him in.
Right, and the carriage
Yes,
would maybe be ideal.
Yeah, let's do
I'm
it.
thrilled and can't wait to find out what exactly is going on here.
Oh, maybe meet to your expectations, darling.
I was mostly being sarcastic. You all seem quite jittery.
Correct.
Have y'all explained what's happening to her yet? Because quite a lot's happened since we last spoke.
Since we last spoke, what did you do?
I didn't do anything, but
At this point,
I did run
You were
from
just
some
supposed
people.
to gather the
Listen,
At this point, a carriage comes around, is pulled out from the stables. That's geared up with. I'm gonna leave it up to Sam. What types of bugs are pulling this carriage?
I want moths.
Excellent. Yeah,
Atlas
a
moths.
couple of beautiful atlas moths. Let me look up what that looks like. Just
Just
so I know.
imagine like when a moth like hits something and they just kind of like go in circles.
oh god,
There's a light that they follow.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Oh, I
yeah.
love that.
Friends.
Yeah. Okay.
Like a
okay.
lantern.
It's like on a fishing pole. Kind of,
Yeah.
that's how you
Yeah.
steer them.
Yeah. Instead of reins, you
Yeah.
have a light on a pole.
Yeah.
It's like a lantern.
All right, sold.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
so much.
Great
My
visual.
vision.
Excellent. So yeah, you see the
Fan art, come on.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You see the lantern come out first, followed by a pair of atlas moths pulling a carriage big enough for your group as well as a few guards.
It's brilliant because it's like a nighttime carriage and like you wouldn't be able to see very well in the day.
Yeah.
So great.
Though we're easily spotted from afar.
It's true.
Is the trade-off.
True.
It's true, but just because you see a carriage, it's not a marked.
True. This
royal
carriage, it should be noted this carriage does not bear any it's just like kind of a dark stained wood. It does not bear any house colors or anything that would identify it as Luperel or Vulpes or otherwise. You all climb aboard.
Are we doing this?
Listen, Bristlebeard's already making his move. They saw. What? Tell her what you saw.
Yeah. Are we in the carriage yet? Are we like?
I believe
Yeah,
so.
for the sake of this,
Can
I'm
the
gonna
guards
say,
be driving?
Yeah, for the sake of
Okay.
this, I'm going to say you climb into the carriage. You have one Luperelian guard kind of sitting shotgun, and the Fennec Fox of House Vulpes is driving. There's also a couple more sitting on the back side of the carriage, kind of keeping eyes behind. And
Are any of the guards staying behind?
we'll say one does, yeah.
Okay. Tell no one you saw us except for King Lupin if he asks.
It will be done. So you all climb aboard, and the moths take flight and begin carrying the carriage out of the castle town towards Howlheart Keep. And that's where we're going to end this episode of A War of Fang Fur.
Bye for now.
The king is dead.
He's dead.
You killed him.
My lady, I thought
But it was a
What
poison
happened?
dagger.
it was poisoned.
When we've done wrong, we take in the information and we walk away swiftly.
You say when we've done wrong, when I haven't done anything wrong.
You find yourself on a hill surrounded by fire as it encloses around you.
The former queen, House Theros, has passed from her illness.
I'm gonna put a hand on Lance's shoulder as though I'm like pushing him down into his chair.
Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw and you want even more Arcanarama goodness, you can head over to patreon.com/Arcanarama, where the low price of $5 gets you access to a whole host of content, like the Chaos Hours, our post-show talkback, where we chat with each other about the things that happened in the episode and give you a peek behind the Dungeon Master's screen. The Guardians of the Phoenix podcast, where it all began, as well as monthly art drops with character art that you can use in your own games at home. The $5 tier gets you access to all of those goodies, but there's also a $3 tier if you simply want to be noticed by your senpais. So without further ado, huge shout out to all of this month's Patreon supporters. Definitely Not Sam, Scott Shear, Nita Yilva, Eric Firm, Freya Odensdottir, Robin Stone, Tina Holt, and Al. See you in the next one.